I've been in Aboriginal housing for 27 years now. I was 22 when I first got my first house. That was when I first had my first child. And when I first got involved with Aboriginal housing, it was around the time, I think, where Aboriginal housing was going out in its own entity and you had to choose between mainstream and Aboriginal housing.
We weren't to be trusted in those days. Aboriginal people, you can't be trusting them. And it was very difficult for Aboriginal people to get houses. To have this now and running the Aboriginal Housing Board, running like it is, and doing a job that is relevant to the Aboriginal people is what's more important.
The dreams that we had about the future of the organisation back in the 80s, that has come true.
The biggest thing about Aboriginal housing is we actually care about our tenants. So the staff and our whole principle is really about that wellbeing overall.
So self-determination is the power to determine our own destiny and even the playing field as well. And I think that's where AHV does a really good job, because we're providing housing, which is the basis from where all other aspects of somebody's life can then flourish.
I've got a lot more drive in myself now. It's opened a lot of doors for me, and now I can get up and actually not feel shame.
Seeing the children, seeing the children of the tenants in our houses growing up and going to university, getting an education, getting apprenticeships, and so that they can become carpenters, they can become marine biologists, scientists. The world is their oyster, and that's what I would like to see.
It's such a great place to work for, and exciting to see where it goes from here.
It's a must for our tenants. I believe without AHV, our tenants out there in the broader community of Victoria would struggle to get public housing. So we're very proud and very honoured to be able to set up a company such as Aboriginal Housing of Victoria with a lot of other people over many years to be able to be a service provider for our Aboriginal community members.
So I can make a future here, Hopefully get my kids up here and get family come up visits on school holidays and all that.
We've been with Aboriginal Housing Victoria for 3 years now, and we've just grown from there, me and my two girls.
And for me, it's been the best thing I've ever done. I've been stable for 27 years now. And for me, that's a big thing, because moving around as a child in the homes, we went to 10 different schools in a year. So to have some stability for me and for my children and now my grandchildren is quite a big bonus for us. Yeah.
People are able to live the life they want to live, both individually and as a community. And of course, that means not just giving people power, but giving them economic and social strength.
I think Aboriginal Housing Victoria can provide a platform for the Aboriginal community to move forward. We know that there's a number of our community that are quite vulnerable, and they need social housing and a social housing landlord. I think there's a real opportunity to actually work with our tenants and empower them and move them to a place where they feel comfortable that they don't need social housing in the future, and perhaps they can move on to, and one of the great aspirations is that we can actually support and assist tenants to move into home ownership for themselves.
I've got a roof over my head for now, later, future, as long as I want. It's putting roots in the ground.